Okay guys, second video, second chat. I'm a bit more awake now, which means I might talk a bit more sense. I don't know, use judge. Dillian Whyte, my favourite fighter today. Do you know, it's something I share with sporting icons. I think here and there in the past we've both said this. I've commented on his videos that Dillian's my favourite fighter today. He's my favourite fighter a number of years, actually, probably since, as you can see, the man was my hero, Lennox Lewis. I don't think Dillian's as good as Lennox, but that's a different thing. No one is for me, but Dillian, yeah, probably the bravest fighter today as well. Will fight anyone. Would probably fight King Kong if King Kong was real. Dillian's answer would be, yeah, set a match up, I'll fight him. I thought his performance the other week against Lucas Brown was absolutely outstanding. A lot of people have said Lucas was overweight. Okay, he was a little overweight, but that's Lucas Brown for you. He is what he is. He's never going to be the world's greatest athlete. What he is you can't argue with his record. You can't argue with his record. He hits people and he knocks them out. That's what he does. I mean, he poleaxed Chagiev after, you know. So for me, Dillian put in a brilliant performance. Really, he just neutralised White. He neutralised Brown. Excuse me. From the start, pretty much. Basically beat him up and knocked him out. You can't ask much more than that, really. I know a lot of people don't think Dillian is a big puncher. Well, to do that to Lucas Brown, I think shows that he has got a wicked punch, certainly a left hook, and right hand, really. As regards his next move fighting Pulev, I never really know what to make of Pulev. He's got a good record, decent record. It's just a one defeat to Vladimir Klitschko. No shame in that. But I don't think he'd beat Dillian. I think Dillian would beat him fairly easily, probably knock him out somewhere around similar to what he did, excuse me, to Lucas Brown, possibly slightly later. As regards, I touched on it in another video, but as regards Dillian with Deontay Wilder, if, as is expected, Joshua will probably end up fighting Povetkin next. That seems to be general thought, unless we get through all the red tape, stroke BS, stroke whatever you want to call it, of putting Wilder and Joshua together next. And probably as I'm speaking now, no doubt it'll be breaking news that the fight is going to happen, knowing my luck, but there we go. If he fights Povetkin next, then surely, being as Dillian is WBC #1 and pretty much tip of the top, or very close to the top of the other world rankings, surely the obvious fight for Deontay Wilder is Dillian Whyte. For me, the WBC need a bit of a dressing down by the other governing bodies. They really do. I mean, how they can constantly, and they have over the last 3 years, constantly let Wilder make a bit of a mockery of their WBC strap. I mean, it was always, you know, I know they say it's the most highly regarded. For me, that will always go to the WBA, which was the original belt, or as was NBA way back when, long before any of us have memories of. But yes, Muhammad Ali held it. All the great champions have held WBC. Most of them have all held both, but Wilder ain't doing the WBC any favours, fighting people like Washington, people like Spilker, people like Doufus, I can't say his name, Doufus, I call him. Good fighters, decent fighters, but if one of them guys was to win that belt, could anyone honestly tell me they could see any of them guys holding on to that belt if they were in a ring against Joshua, Parker, White? I'd even go as far as to say a fully fit and focused Del Boy Chisora, who, again, great tear-up artist. The obvious answer is no. No, they would be blown away by people like that. Povetkin would walk through them people, you know. Pulev would probably beat most of them. And Wilder is allowed to basically rack up what looks like a outstanding record against people who not many people have heard of, really. Not in the real boxing world, or they're not very highly regarded. I was commenting on a video yesterday before I started this channel today, and was told by an American fight fan that the resume of Joshua did not compare to the resume of Wilder, and that no one on Joshua's resume had a proven record, if you like. I've since instantly pointed out to this guy that, hold on a minute, you've just said Vladimir Klitschko doesn't have a proven resume. The guy dominated the heavyweight division for 10 years. He ducked no one, fight anyone, beaten everyone, and showed versus Anthony Joshua that he still got it. Like it or lump it, he still got it. People say he looked slow, he looked this, for me he looked like he was in the condition of his life. He was still bouncing around after 11 rounds, he looked bright, lively, and he got caught with a devastating combination that if would have caught anyone, Wilder, Parker, anyone, would have put them away. Even any heavyweight from the past, I would say that combination that Joshua, that attack, we'll call it, that Joshua launched, would have destroyed any heavyweight. I don't know the man born who could have took that uppercut, blah blah blah, right hand, left hook, and stayed compos mentis, as we say. Yeah. But this seems to be the thinking of a lot of Wilder fans, that Klitschko is some faded force, this guy's booking him was trying to book him as below Washington and people. I mean, how long would anyone sane thinking person give Washington v Wilder, v Klitschko, excuse me? Not long. So to come out with that Joshua's opponents, none of them have proven resumes, records, whatever you want to call them. Is, you know, it's just tosh talk. It's just fanboy talk, casual talk, whatever it's called these days. It's rubbish. As I said in my earlier video, you look at Wilder's record and his two outstanding opponents that he's beaten are 39 or booked as 39-year-old men. Not in the greatest condition. One failed a drugs test before Christmas, I believe on the night of the fight. At a before fight medical, his blood pressure was up. I'm talking about Ortiz with that. Apparently Don Brazil was booked as a possible stand-in, but was away at that point for some reason, and it was very close to Charles Martin stepping in, so I've heard. Now, I don't think Charles Martin would have beaten Deontay Wilder. I'm not even going to make a fool of myself and say he would. He wouldn't. Could Dominic Breazeale beat Deontay Wilder? Yeah, I think he could. I think he could. Would my money be on him too? No. I'd be very 50-50 on it with that fight. Very 50-50. Dom's got a great chin. He has got a good chin. He does take a punch. I know he was down in a fight with that guy. Can't think of the guy's name, slipped me mind at the minute. But the thing about Dom is he gets up. He gets up. I'm not sure he throws enough. I wouldn't say he can't punch, because he clearly can, but I still think it'd be an interesting fight. And if Wilder doesn't fight, this is what I'm getting at with Wilder. If he doesn't fight Dillian Whyte, then surely he has to be fighting Don Brazil. I mean, he cannot go on saying, I only want to fight Joshua. I only want to fight Joshua. I'm not fighting Whyte. What does Whyte bring to the table? I'm not fighting Breazeale. What does Breazeale bring to the table? I mean, did Muhammad Ali say that about Zora Foley? About George Chuvalo? About how many opponents? Did Mike Tyson say? Did Lennox Lewis say? No. You fight who is highly ranked. Now, ideally, you fight the top 5 below you. It's ideally how you do it in whichever order you want to do it. You can go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whichever. The rankings do change a lot more these days. But he does. He needs bringing to task, and I think the WBC need bringing to task, because it's just becoming a joke, really, where I seen Sporting Icon's video, he was saying, it did make me chuckle, the WBC strap as the Toys R Us strap. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm having that, yeah, because if you want to just let someone cherry pick his defences, and that is what he's done. Okay, I know he's faced Ortiz, but again, I think he's drawn it out and waited until Ortiz is certainly. I don't think Ortiz is the fighter he was a few years ago, to be honest. Certainly not speed-wise now. I don't know. I'm just getting my thoughts out there at the minute. Hope I'm not boring anyone too much, but this is just the thinkings of my mind. Yeah. But that looks to be the lay of the land for the heavyweight scene. That's surely it's got to be. I mean, there's talk of Joshua fighting Whyte. I don't know if I'd watch that. I think anyone would. Again, rematch. But why? When the obvious fights are, if they don't want to jump out of 2 mega battles as they've had, i.e. Wilder Ortiz, Joshua Parker, then yeah, fight the mandatories or perceived number one contenders. Next, Joshua fight Povetkin and Wilder fight White, and then they can have a big get together and punch each other or hug each other or whatever they want to do in just before Christmas. Maybe they could go to Russia and fight on Christmas Day for nothing. Peace, guys.